Hello and welcome back to another video. So, this week we're talking about the Xbox One and my collection of games for it, my thoughts and general time with that particular system. And it's not a good time, to be fair. As you can see, big Xbox fan. Big original Xbox, big Xbox 360 fan. Grew up on it. Grew up on Xbox. Massive Xbox fan. Massive Xbox nerd. Love Halo. Love Gears of War. Love Crackdown. Loved everything to do with the 360 and the original Xbox. Love them. Xbox Original is still my favourite console out of all of them. And that's saying something because GameCube and 360 and the Saturn and the Wii U and the Switch all beating it with sticks, but the original Xbox had more memories and more nostalgia, and quite frankly, way more games. Way more games than most of the systems I own. So, we're at the tail end of the Xbox 360. I've just played BioShock Infinite. I've been playing Dishonored. I've been playing so many games. Metal Gear Rising, Anarchy Reigns, Mass Effect 3. And then they announced the Xbox One. And I'm like, right. Online only. Has to have the Kinect plugged in so it can record everything you say. You're unable to buy used games for it. You have to pay to even share the game. Say I wanted to share a copy of any of the shitty launch titles, like Dead Rising and Rise Son of Rome. If I want to share either of those, I have to pay money to Microsoft. I wrote it off. I wrote it off. I wrote the entire thing off. I went, I think I'm done. I'm done with Xbox. I'm done with Xbox in that minute. Wii U seems to have games on it that I actually want to play. And the Wii U is what I stuck with for most of that early part of the generation. Then I start seeing stuff like Scalebound. Scalebound looks really cool. Halo's coming to it. Gears of War 4. Crackdown 3 gets announced. Fable Legends. And I go, okay, fine. They seem to have gone back on a lot of what they were talking about with the original Xbox One release. I'm going to see what's up. I'm going to see if there's anything of note here. I pick up Sunset Overdrive. I pick up an Xbox One. And then we start getting into it as a console. The Xbox One is the single worst console I have ever owned. Ever. And I own a Philips CDI. I own a Virtual Boy. I would rather play an hour of the Virtual Boy than I would buy an Xbox One again. I would rather get eye strain and eye bleeding than legitimately play that system seriously, because it's awful to begin with. There were fuck all exclusives. The major thing that sells a console for me is, I need about 5 exclusives per system for me to justify to myself to be able to buy it. So, for example, for the 3DO, I needed Star Control, Immersionary, Killing Time, PO'd, and I believe the other one was Crash and Burn. And here's the kicker, I still don't own 2 of those. So, I still don't own Immersionary and Crash and Burn. I will down the line, but that's my point. Into the Virtual Boy, Tolero Boxer, Warrior Land, Mario Clash, Jack Bros, and I think it was Red Alarm, which is terrible, but was one of the... I could go into it and go, yes, those are what I want. Of the exclusives that they announced for the original Xbox One, they had Halo 5, they had Fable Legends, they had Scalebound, they had a new Command & Conquer, and they had Gears 4. Now, I like Gears 4. It's fine. I liked Halo 5 to a degree. Scalebound was cancelled. The New Conquer was cancelled. Fable Legends was cancelled. I got burnt very badly with that system to the point where I don't own a Series X. And I won't own a Series X. I just won't, because at the end of the day, Xbox is either going to go multi-platform, which they hopefully will do, or they're going to focus so heavily on Game Pass, it's going to blow up in their face when people realise, its novelty is worn out, and they're not getting the revenue anymore. Because, funnily enough, making games is more expensive than making movies and series and TV than it is making a 40 to 50 hour game that people are going to play for maybe half an hour and get bored. Anyway, Xbox One. Garbage, awful, hideous, ugly piece of shit system. Absolute trash. Let's talk about the games. Yes, I've gone on and off the Xbox One. I've bought kind of all of the remaining exclusives that I'd be actually interested in. Some honourable dismentions, because they're shit, are Sunset Overdrive, which is a really bland, boring, open-world GTA clone with with not even superpowers. It's like if you took Crackdown and removed all the charm. Recall, which was made by Keiji Inafune of Mega Man fame, and it plays like a Mega Man game, and it sucks. It sucks. It sucks just as bad as Mighty No. 9 did. It was awful. Trash. State of Decay 2, same thing. Awful. Just 3 games that are just tragically shit. But we'll go through the games I have. Starting with this. Sonic Generations. I bought this like a month ago. Strictly because it was also the 360 version. It could play on Xbox One and 360. I thought that was a cool novelty. That's the only reason I bought it. It was £6. I don't care. Besides, that game is out in a week. Oh, it's out in 4 days from the recording of this video. So I'm going to be buying Sonic X Shadow Generations, and I probably won't look back. I may look back. We'll see. But anyway, Gears of War Ultimate Edition. Yeah, it's fine. It's just Gears of War 1 again. It's Gears of War 1, but with the PC exclusive chapter, and it's fine. It's fine. It's nothing really special. It was released to kind of promote Gears 4. And I'm going to be honest with you, Gears 4 is aggressively mediocre. Now, I'm a big fan of Gears of War. I've talked about the series on the channel before. If you haven't got to see the video, go find it. It's on the channel. Yeah, Gears 4 is aggressively mediocre as far as first-person shooters go. Its main protagonist is boring. I don't give a shit about basically anybody until Marcus and the old crew show up, at which point I'm like, yes, where were you for the whole game? Yeah, it's painfully average. Gears 5. Here's the kicker. I really like Gears 5. I do. I think it's really good. I like its story. Its story's very solid. Playing as Kate is very solid. I like her ties to the Locust. Or the Swarm as they're now known as. But, yeah, and maybe they did write themselves into a corner with the ending, but I was excited to see where they were going. Maybe I'm in a minority there, but I think Gears 5 is a very, very good step up. It had a decent multiplayer from what I know. It had Horde back, which was always good. I know Horde was in Gears 4, but I never played it online. Played a bit of this. And its multiplayer, it's sort of open world sections. Not terrible. They're actually okay. I enjoyed them quite a lot. That same year, I actually then proceeded by Gears Tactics. Now, they've been trying to get a Gears game like that off of the ground for several years. And Gears Tactics was one of the final kind of death knells for the Xbox One for me. Yeah. It was the fact that they were like, oh yes, there's a Falconer, that's going to be an exclusive, and then there's Gears Tactics, and then they released the Falconer on other systems. So I was like, right, okay. So, great. I bought a game that I could have bought on another system that's superior in every single way, for a piece of shit. Great, thanks. So I sold it. I sold the Xbox One now, looking back. I play off my wife's when I play games on the Xbox One, which is not common at all. Killer Instinct. Yeah, pretty solid fighting game. I prefer the old ones. The old ones are better. They just are. They're just better. Just better. That sums up this whole system. The older ones were better. Up until Gears 3, great. Gears 4, not great. Gears 5, pretty good. Gears Tactics, aggressively mediocre XCOM clone. Speaking of that, aggressively mediocre clone, Crackdown 3. Now, when they announced Crackdown 3, I was all over it. I was all for it. I was super excited. I was like, yes, excellent. I loved Crackdown 1. I loved Crackdown 2, to a degree. Had some problems. But Crackdown 3, yeah, kind of in the same boat. I think it's fine. It's aggressively okay. And that's kind of all I can describe it as. It's aggressively okay. I mean, it's a game that feels... I don't know. When it came out, it took forever. This came out in 2019, and it took about... Well, to be fair, it took maybe 5-6 years longer than it really should have done. And when it came out, it released to absolutely no critical acclaim whatsoever. And it had Terry Crews in it. And that's all I can really sum it up as. It's fine. If you like Crackdown 1, you'll like Crackdown 3. But I recommend just playing the first two. Because they're, A, cheaper. Well, they're not cheaper. But they are better. Where are they? They were there. I can't see them though. So that's concerning. Where are they? Ah, no, there they are. Next to the big Wolfenstein. Well, they're there. They're somewhere. Okay. I'm going to get lynched for this, but I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really like Remedy. I don't really like Remedy Entertainment. I didn't like Max Payne. I thought, quite frankly, Alan Wake was shit. Awful. Terrible game. Then I played this. I played Quantum Break, and it is really, really boring. It's really boring. It's just, you know, it's Iceman, except he has the ability to freeze time now rather than people. And, yeah, it's merely okay. It's merely okay. I played through the whole thing. I beat it. I didn't do any of the stupid TV shit. So there's a TV series wound up in this, and it's really boring. Shocker. It's really boring, and if you're playing offline, you can't access it. So half of the game just gone, because it ties into a television show. Because when I think Xbox One, I think TV. You can watch TV. You can watch TV. You can get involved with a dog in Call of Duty. You can watch TV. That was their whole fucking E3 presentation, and it sucked. This is a bit of a throwaway. I have Battle Ball. It was free. Yes. The death of one of my favourite series happened on this console, and it will happen on the next one. Unless they just decide, fine, we're going to release all of them on PS5, at which point I will buy them without a second thought. Halo! Halo 5. Yeah, not the death of Halo for me. We'll get to that. But Halo 5. Yeah, I didn't like it when it came out. I didn't like it at all. I played through it, I beat it. I couldn't believe there was no local split screen. Thing is, I really liked 4. I thought 4 had a very compelling story. Then they went, Cortana's the villain. And I was like, now I've read the books, so I know why this makes sense. But that doesn't stop it from being stupid, and doesn't quite stop it from pissing off every other fan of Halo. Which it kind of did. If you didn't read the books, people weren't too thrilled with 5. I think 5 had some good stuff. I think 5 had a very good multiplayer. I think it had probably some of the best movement in a Halo game we'd had up until that point. The gameplay was solid. The weapons were solid. Even the enemies and a lot of the level design was very solid. It was the story. The story was shit. It relied too much on external media. I couldn't tell you half of the characters in it, and I'm kind of glad they killed off half of them for Halo Infinite. But we'll get to that one. We'll get to that one indeed. Halo 5. It's fine. It's okay. A lot of its gameplay's pretty good. I think the Protheans do hold their own as kind of an antagonistic faction. They don't pass what's called the silhouette test, so if you can't tell what something is at a distance, just from its outline, its very basic outline, you've failed in character design completely. Especially in gameplay. Halo Reach had this exact same problem. Bungie came in and went, right, all of those characters, yes, we're going to completely redesign them and they're all going to be terrible. Yes, Halo Reach, Halo's design problems started with Reach. They started earlier with Halo 3 and the Brutes, but Halo Reach was really where Halo's design died. And then Halo 5 just made it worse. Especially with the Prometheans. They're considerably worse. That one has 5 spikes. What does that mean? I don't fucking know. Irrelevant. But it did have some good levels. San Helios is very cool. A lot of what they do with Genesis and a lot of the planets is pretty engaging. I wanted to see where they were going with Cortana as a villain, and you know what, we're just going to skip to that one. Halo Infinite. This killed Halo. For me. Firstly, the game isn't on the fucking disc. The game's not on the disc. The game isn't on the disc. It's download only. You can only download Halo Infinite story campaign, which is shit, if you've got the disc. Otherwise, you can't play it. It's asinine. It's completely and utterly fucking insane. And it's another... That kind of is what killed Halo for me. I beat Infinite. I can't remember half of its campaign. Its gameplay's solid. Its multiplayer and Forge are amazing. But the basic concept of the fucking thing, not on the disc. Free to play. Live service schlock. Crap. It killed Halo. It did. It murdered Halo. And Halo Studios have come out and gone, oh yes, we're back. We're a brand new studio. No, you're not. You're made out of the husk that was 343, who made that shit. Utilising an engine, and all the fucking video focused on when they were revealing about the new direction for Halo was, look at how pretty the graphics are. And I'm like, okay. And in that trailer they go, oh yes, Halo has always been a graphical powerhouse. No, it fucking hasn't. No, it hasn't. Halo 1 looks good. Looked good for the time. Halo 2 looked not great. It looks worse in a lot of ways than Halo 1. And a big part of that is down to its lighting engine. It doesn't really have one. Everything is just on full bloom all the time, and it doesn't look great. So, and then 3, yes, 3 still looks good now. 4 still looks good now. Reach looks terrible. Its game design is great. Its multiplayer, and again, everything about the custom games was amazing. The enemy design, the art direction, terrible. Awful. Trash. Looks like shit. Halo 5, not much better. Halo Infinite, good art direction, terrible story, terrible live service, terrible content updates, download only when you own the physical disc. Fuck off. Fuck off. And that's kind of the whole thing about the Xbox One. It is awful. It's a miserable, pathetic platform. It's the same with the Series X. No games of any note. I mean, hell, Master Chief Collection, very well done. Very good, very robust on console. PC release, not so much. Halo Wars 2, great game. Really liked The Banished, and I really liked The Banished in Infinite. I did. But the story is awful. It's Cortana's dead. And I'm like, you did that with 4. All the stuff happened before the story. Breath of the Wild did that, and it was shit then. I can't remember half the levels in Halo Infinite. I can't. I remember running through a spaceship at the beginning of it. I remember running through a banished spaceship. And I remember fighting that arsehole brute, who's just overly difficult and a fucking bullet sponge for absolutely no reason. And that's it. I can't remember half of the other. There's no different biomes. There's no different levels. They all look the fucking same. It's shit. It's flat out the worst Halo game. Apart from maybe the 2 top-down shooters, which are just bad. It's the worst Halo campaign. By a long margin. It's boring. I remember pretty much everything that happens in Halo 4. Halo 5. Halo 3. Halo Reach. Halo ODST. Halo 2. Halo 1. Halo Wars. Halo Wars 2. Everything. Infinite, I couldn't tell you one mission from the next. I fucking couldn't. And there was a time where I could... You know what? I could probably still do it, and I'm going to. I could name every single level in the first 3 Halo games in order. So I'm going to try it, just for this once. Pillar of Autumn, Halo, Truth and Reconciliation, Silent Cartographer, Assault on the Control Room, 343 Guilty Spark, The Library, 2 Betrayals, Keys, The Maw, Halo 1, Halo 2, The Heretic, The Armory, Cairo Station, Outskirts, Metropolis, The Arbiter, The Oracle, Delta Halo, Regret, Sacred Icon, Quarantine Zone, High Charity, no, Gravemind, Uprising, High Charity, The Great Journey. Then we had Sierra 117, Crow's Nest. Savo Highway, The Storm, Floodgate, The Ark, The Covenant, Cortana, and Halo. I did it. Fantastic. Infinite. Couldn't name any of them. I couldn't name any of them at all. And even though I can't name any of the ones in, 5, apart from, Argent Moon, and I think maybe some others, but I remember all of them. I remember all the ones from 4. I remember all the ones from ODST. I don't with Infinite. They all just merge. And that's just so indicative of what the Xbox One is, which is a struggling, failed platform that was dead 11 years ago. It died when they announced it. Nothing could turn it around from that. The dumb fuck in charge of Xbox went, oh, well, if you can't connect to the internet, we have a system for that. It's called the 360. And it's like, cool, I won't buy it then. And I didn't for 2 years. 3. I didn't buy an Xbox One for 3 years, and then I instantly regretted it. So I switched over to PlayStation and I haven't really looked back. Well, actually, no. I switched to Nintendo and I haven't looked back. I've just been playing Nintendo for the last 14 years. 11 years. 11 years of 11 years of Nintendo. Thanks, Xbox. Anyway, that is my nearly half an hour rant about how much I dislike the Xbox One. Even though there's some solid games on there. Sort of. Halo 5, thought it was okay. Gears 5, pretty good. I like Crackdown 3. I love Halo Wars 2. I think it's fantastic. But in the great grand scheme of things, the Xbox One killed Halo. So did the Series X. It killed Gears of War to a degree. And what else do they have coming out for this thing that's not going to be out on PS5 in a year? Starfield? Ooh, yay. No. Anyways, that's me signing off. Hopefully next week we'll be chatting about something a little more exciting. We might go into my Vectrex collection. That could be good. So yeah, anyways guys, that is me, signing off.